create gradients in Photoshop. The same method we use in Photoshop is what we can use in the other two Adobe products, Illustrator and InDesign. To start with, I have a particular color palette here. I downloaded it on Adobe Colors.com, and you can check out to access colors in my color series. So let's get started. Now I have a plain shape, a black rectangle or square rather, a black square and a black circle, then two few rectangles around this corner. So now what we'll do is we'll make sure we input gradient in all of these shapes. So what is gradients when it comes to graphic design? Gradient is the use of different colors in a particular system, in a particular composition. What the color does is it graduates from a particular saturation to the next saturation, or a particular hue to the next hue. So depending on how you want it, that means you can mix colors together as long as the colors blend well according to the color harmony codes or rules that we've actually learned or gone through in the previous videos. So let's get started. Now I have this shape and I'm about applying gradients to it. So a perfect way you can do it, because we can actually do it in several ways. So the first way is this: we'll come here around this fill option. Then as you can see, we have the none option around the side. Let me zoom in so that we can see everything I was doing. So we select the shape, then we'll now come here under the fill option, we click once. Then now on this area we'll see no color. Here we'll see the solid color swatch, and now we'll see the gradient color swatch. So if we click it, then we'll get more options. Can you see that we now have a default color value of black and white, graduating from black to white and vice versa. So now to make use of this, we need to learn that not just two colors can be used. We can use more than two, we can use three, as many as possible, depending on the kind of effect you're trying to create. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'll be working on just two patterns of it. But if time permits us, we can do more than two. So now let's get started on that note. So on the color swatch, on the gradient color swatch, we have different default presets already made here. We have the gray. Then let me try and increase this particular section. Okay, so here we have the basic color, which is black and white. We can actually mix a single color with a transparent color. Can we see that's transparent? This is white, and this black to white also. Yeah, that's what the basic. We have blues, all the values of all the hues of blues. This is a perfect example of three colors. You can actually use create different effects, which in some of the videos we might, future videos, let me say, we might go through them also. So these are blues, and on we have the next one: purples, pinks, reds, oranges, greens, gray. If you're using a old version of Photoshop, you might not see these options. It might just be bare. So in a situation whereby it's bare, let's create a fresh one of our own. So that means let's say we have the ordinary basic one, which is the black and white. So we can apply the first color. So how do we apply the first color? You come to this pointer here, you double tap on this color pointer, double tap on it, and after double tapping on it, then the color picker dialog box will pop out. Then we can pick the first color. Let's say the darkest color we're using now is the black. We'll pick the black. Then we'll click OK. Can you see it has changed? Then we'll come here, pick the second, double tap on it again. Then we can pick the brightest color, which is this. Then we are going to have a perfect gradient here. So that is one for gradient. So I'll show us more options now. We want to use three colors for this particular shape. Now to add more color, we'll come to the bar for the gradient, to the gradient bar. Then we'll click, we'll see a hand pointer. Then we'll click to add more. So now we just added any color you had, the fresh color you had, it's white. So we can change that, select it or double tap on it to change the color. Then we can decide to use any other color to which, as you can see it here. But Let's use something more interesting now. Okay, so what I will do now is I'll try to send in a three color palette because it's a monochromatic of color palette. So I'll try to send in complementary colors so we can work with them and see how. Basically, I like using just monochromatic for my gradients. It gives me joy because of the gradation between from one particular color to the particular color. The uniformity between the colors are so perfect. So that's why I do that. So I will send a palette of complementary colors and I'll work with that and I'll explain the three colors too. So we have another color palette here of complementary colors here for the palettes. On the palette we have complementary colors now. So we want to apply three different colors so that we can see perfect distinctions between each of the colors. So we'll do that for this circular shape. To do that, we select the shape, then we'll come to fill, then after coming to fill, we'll click on gradient. Now we can determine each colors. You can see here, we can determine each colors by double tapping on the color pointer. Then we'll pick the first color. Let's see, our first color is this. We should use this as our first color. This is this. Okay, let's use this dark red as our first color. Then our second color, we'll click on the middle. Then the second color should be double tap on it. Second color should be this bright, this rather red. Yes, we can use this. Let's see what effect this is going to give. But this looks nice. Let's use this. Then our last color, which is white, will be this green. Let's see what we have. Okay, so I think this is good enough. It's good enough. So we click OK. Now notice something. All of these shapes have strokes. So let's remove this stroke so that we can get the best effect out of our shapes. So we'll remove the strokes. Now this is what we have. So I'll do some other. This is for circular, and this is for squares. So now let's try to duplicate this and create some kind of effect with it. So we want to, as you can see, the gradient is just moving. We'll duplicate this. So let's duplicate this. So as you can see, the gradient is just traveling from one point to another vertically. So let's modify it and give several effects to what we have right now. Okay. Now first, for the rectangle, for the square, let's go back to the shape. Click on it. Now this is what we have. You can see we see linear gradient that's going from vertical. We can try to rotate it and to give us different. So rotating it, that means this one is about 32 degrees. Let's say 32 degrees. 32 degrees will be around the sides. It's graduating from the bottom left to the top right. Yeah. So we can keep playing around with that depending on the kind of effect you want to create and all of that. And the same thing applies. We can also use another options like radia. Radia, that means it will be from a circle. And 0, I'll give it 0. Okay, now from a point on the circle. So now in a situation whereby we want the darker part to be outside and the lighter part to be inside, we'll come back here. This is a radia. I will click and we can switch the colors depending on. Let's delete this color because it's not actually showing any differentiation. We can delete the color by clicking on it and clicking on the So in case we want to delete a particular color after changing it, maybe something like this, just drag it away from the bar, just drag it out, then we'll have something of this nature. So back to the radio, we can switch this color out and bring this white inside by just clicking on the reverse the gradient colors. So then we'll have something of this nature. So it's gonna come that way. And there's several options, like I said, rotate. We can also drag gradient. You can change the position of the gradient. Can you see? The more we rotate it, the more the effects get brighter and brighter and all that. So that's one for that. And also we can let's come on this particular part of the design. Now the scaling can be within the shape, like the size of the shape. Now this gradient is aligned within shape. You can decide to reduce the scaling to about 300 to be more bigger. Now it's bigger than the size of the shape, so um, let's give it a bit of reduction. Okay, can you see the difference? Can you see the effects coming more subtle? And we can decide to uncheck the align with layer. If we don't align it with layer, then we can, let me reduce it more so that we can get better. Give it that 100. Now align with layer, then it's going too far. Let's rotate it. Now it's bigger than the layer. Let's try to reduce it a bit and see what we have. So it's around this edge. That's why we're not getting the best. But most times I will just keep it aligned within the size of the layer itself. Most times. So can you see there are effects going on around it that is making a change or making adjustment to it personally. So we have different method for it. We have the let me give this back to 100 option and align with layout. Then we can have linear option, linear effects for the hedge, and we can have the classic option too. So most times I leave it for the perceptual options and keep it aligned within the layer. So there's still more to this gradient, which I will show us one or two things in the blending option, because we have the function too in blending option. So let's try to make this sphere adjust. There are still more options, like for under radial we have angled, and can change the angle there, as you can see, and we have reflected, then we have diamond. So just as you know, the same thing applies to the circular one. So best of for the circular basically is the radial option. When we come here, they will click on radial option, then you know how to be, they will be at the center. You can also use the reverse for this, but still going to, as you can see, all the colors are coming from the red to the light red and to the green itself. So depending on what particular functions we're trying to create. So I'll see in the next video whereby we'll use this particular gradient effect on some of our designs. So thank you for staying to the end of the class.